What's happening, friends? Welcome to podcast. Did I catch you by surprise there, Marty?
I was shocked.
You kind of jumped back
you said,
there.
You even counted 3, 2, 1, and I got scared.
It is Podcast Unlocked. It is the world's scariest Xbox podcast.
Because it's Halloween.
No, because
that's on the
me.
31st, Destin?
But yes, that too.
It's the Halloween episode.
This is the last episode before Halloween, so therefore it is the Halloween
American
episode.
Halloween.
Right.
It's a different day than other countries.
Than Canadian
Really?
Halloween.
Is that true?
Nope, made that up. That's a lie. First lie of the episode.
Count the lies. Mm-hmm. How many? Do a shot every time Marty lies.
Yeah.
Oh, don't do that.
Yikes.
I'm Ryan McCaffrey, Destin Legary.
Hi, everybody.
Marty Sleva, the
Hey.
liar. Sean the Shark Finnegan.
Hello.
Hello. So famous last words. I'm gonna couch this up front. Here we go again. Not a lot going on this week, so you can probably look forward to a 6-hour episode.
Yeah, exactly.
Glad I made it.
Or something breaking during the episode.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Or as the rule goes, right after.
Yeah, we're 90 seconds in and nothing's broken yet.
Yeah. Oh, and then
So far,
breaking,
so
like
good.
breaking news.
Oh, that breaking.
Yeah.
Oh.
Something will also probably break.
Yeah. Anyway, I hope everybody enjoyed the Jeff Bartram interview last week, talking a little Operation Supply Drop. It was great to have him in here, and hopefully, I saw some kind tweets about our Gears of War 4 spoiler cast, which, if you have not listened to it, it is the last thing in last week's episode, which is episode 268. So you can go back. What did it end up being? Like 20 or 30 minutes long?
I
Something
think so.
like that?
Yeah, we had to. We could have talked for like an hour, but
Yeah, we totally could have.
we all had to bounce. Yeah, the more I think about the game, the more I like it. Like, I
It's-
really liked it when I finished it.
Yeah,
And-
you tweeted some really strong impressions.
Yeah, it's probably my favorite big AAA game of the year. I think.
I
Maybe.
would agree with that.
Yeah.
I mean,
else
I
is
really
there been?
liked Uncharted 4, although I actually didn't end up finishing it. I still haven't finished it,
It's
but
impossible to finish it because it is far too long.
it's a little epic.
Yeah,
Wait,
just never ends. Really outstays its
so
welcome.
replay value.
Yeah,
then.
there you go.
I'm trying to spin this. I'm trying to help.
Yeah.
Trying to help.
No, I think the thing I liked about Gears the most is that the campaign is like 7 hours long, and it is that like
It's just
perfect length. It's tight.
Yeah.
There's no filler. Yeah.
Yeah, good
Real good
stuff. What else? Oh, the Vince Zampella IGN Unfiltered. That's the episode for whatever month this is. October. That's it. I should probably find a November one, shouldn't I? That might help.
You can do one
It
of
was
us
nice
if
of him
it all falls
to
through.
drop by. Because he works on tight. Never mind.
He didn't drop by. We had to go.
Yeah,
to
I flew
Respawn.
there. I dropped by.
You were the ones who dropped.
I like how that's the thing I did pick. Actually,
In fact, can you mansplain to Destin how Unfiltered works?
It was nice of you to drop by.
Stand by for Ryan Fall.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Poorly. Oh, man. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're ramping up some fun stuff on there. YouTube.com/IGN Unlocked. And we will have shenanigans afoot on that website, I think.
shenanigans afoot
On that
Yeah.
their YouTube website.
Good band name, Shenanigans Afoot.
Shenanigans afoot. Yeah.
It sounds like an Irish folk rock,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
It's like a
like a Dropkick Murphys
Yeah.
kind of thing.
It's a Dropkick Murphys cover band. Yeah.
We are Shenanigans Afoot.
16 people stabbed at the Shenanigans afoot concert last night.
Why are they getting stabbed?
Shenanigans.
You went right for the.
Yeah, that's like
That's an intense shenanigans.
Stabbings are the most prime shenanigans there are.
Mate, we can't just be like drunken disorderly conduct. You got to go right to the attempted murder.
Yeah.
Man,
Yikes.
Marty Sleva.
Sorry.
Unless that was all a lie.
The second lie. No one got stabbed at the Shenanigans afoot concert because it's not a real band.
They got stabbed with their ear holes. Got stabbed with delightful music.
Oh, the idea of being stabbed in the ear is terrible. Ugh.
Here we go.
This is what happens
We're
when
just
there's no
going
news.
straight off the rails.
Yeah, sorry.
Already. Anyway, so Titanfall 2, just getting into that. That is freshly out. I was a little frustrated last night. Every game's like this, but I installed it. It's like, okay, we're ready to play. So I get in. I'm like, okay, right to the campaign. Here I go. And I run through the tutorial, which there's like a little sort of speed run thing that teaches you the mechanics. And then I finish that, and it's like, well, okay, if you want to go back again, go for it. Otherwise, jump on in there. And right on the wall, it's like install progress 74%. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
So I just let it sit there, and it never finished, and I went to bed. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna start it tonight.
on
Ooh,
the
there's
wall,
a
it was like
go to bed mission.
The
I like
install, the install was like in the environment, like digest
Yeah.
in the environment. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I mean, the part about the install.
Yeah,
sucks,
other
but
games
it's
have
cool
done
that
that kind of thing,
yeah.
but it's at least you can just run the training over and over, trying to beat your best time.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I always let games install like 200% before I even try and start it.
I usually
Lest
do,
that happens.
but
to
I
me.
thought it was ready,
right.
but it wasn't. It turns
I've
out
had
it
more
wasn't.
and more in like the last 4 months. There have been so many moments where I'm like, I really want to play this thing, but I can't yet because either it's not installed or I need an update or something. And like by the time
Yep.
this stuff happens, I'm like, I don't even want to play a game anymore. Like after
Yeah.
the hour, I think I was complaining. I don't know what game it was where I had to update my console, install the game, update the game, and then update my controller. And I was like, this is, I'm just
God.
out of spite. I'm just not going to play a game.
Yeah, well, I've done things where on PS4 I'm trying to go redeem a code, but it's like, all right, first I have to update the system software, which on Xbox they're infrequent and it's kind of done more in the background, and then okay, well let me go. All right, now that's done. Now that it's rebooted twice and that's done, let me go into the store to redeem my code. Nope, gotta do. There's an
Gotta update
update
store.
for that. Like, oh man, but yeah. Xbox, it's the same way. You try to get into your game, and you get that initial surge of hope, and then it goes to that black screen of this game needs an update, 6,000 gigabytes. Like,
Monsters.
oh come on,
Yeah.
really?
Real bad.
Video games. All right, we'll come back, do what little news there is, and possibly for once, maybe might have a show that's under 3 hours long right after this. Okay, so first up this week, this is a little inside baseball. I'm going to admit that up front. If you want to skip this, I don't know, jump ahead 5 minutes or so. But
Jump ahead to hour 2.
Yeah, pretty much. But this is relevant. It is inside baseball, but it is also relevant to you, the audience, as
And the
well.
story was really big on the site.
Yeah.
So people do care.
So Bethesda has they actually posted an official news release on a blog post on their site. They will no longer be sending out early review copies for any of their games. Now, I don't want to get too deep into the weeds on this because I don't want to come off as this is sour grapes on IGN's part. But the fact of the matter is they tried to say that this was like, oh, well, they're still going to... They opened it by saying... we love game reviews, or we love reviews, and then sort of the rest of it was about how they're not going to enable reviews to happen anymore. But to me, guys, this is about not having people cancel their pre-orders before their credit cards are charged. That's the end of it. I mean, it's a business. It's about money. It's not about necessarily sticking it to reviewers or sticking it to traditional media outlets like IGN. I think at the end of the day, we have run a bunch of studies and we had our test case with Doom that says we'll either make more money by not having reviews out there, or we will remove the risk of losing pre-orders and thus losing money by not having reviews out there.
Yeah, and to clarify, reviews will still exist.
Of course.
Just not for
Yeah.
day one purchases, which for
Right.
a lot of gamers who are the hardcore audience that come to IGN, they're looking for that. Like, they're interested, should I buy this game now or
Right.
should I wait?
Well, especially in a busy
Or-
fall season when it's there's a cool game that comes out every week.
Yep.
What am I
Yeah.
going to spend my, $100, $200 I have allocated towards gaming this season?
Yeah, and I appreciate the perspective because this does affect IGN directly because
Yes.
we all work on reviews here, even if we're not reviewers ourselves. Like me and Destin have to produce video, and
Yes.
that takes a long time to get the game captured, to pick the right clips, to align it with the script, record that VO. The fact that we don't have access to any of these games anymore, frankly, a lot of these games are really big ones that people are very interested in. That makes it
Yeah,
all
Bethesda's
but
not exactly
impossible.
known for making little 3-hour
Brevity, yeah.
inside
Yeah.
type.
Well, and also it's not just reviews, it's graphics comparisons, it's wikis, it's features, it's getting a game day one and having a starter guide of 10 things you need to know when you start the game. We don't know what that is yet because we're starting when you're starting.
Yeah, basically just makes our job a lot harder. And basically, a lot of people may fault us by saying, well, you're just interested in your own livelihood. And that's part of it. Obviously, we'd be lying if we weren't saying that. But really what we do in terms of the content is for the audience. Like we're
You're
trying
exactly
to give
right.
that to
That's-
you so that you can make a better choice about the game.
I was going to make that exact point. I will absolutely say without a doubt, yes, we have a horse in this race. This does affect IGN's business. So you may dismiss my opinion or the Unlocked team's opinion on this, but it affects us. But it does also affect you. This, if you don't have, there have been a million high-profile examples over the years of a well-hyped game that maybe you've pre-ordered and then the reviews hit and it turns out the game didn't quite turn out like you'd hoped it would, and maybe that review or reviews, I'm not saying just ours, but reviews helped you inform
Save you $60.
or just informed your purchasing decision. Maybe
Yeah.
you still bought the game but you kind of had your expectations
expectations.
recalibrated, or maybe you or the other way where there was something coming up where you didn't, you weren't expecting much out of it, and it gets really good reviews. And you go, oh, cool, I'm going to go buy that. So, yeah, you're right, Sean. It's still going to happen, but we just with Bethesda specifically. So with the inevitable Elder Scrolls 6, with Prey,
Fallout.
what's the rest of their lineup? Oh, the new Wolfenstein that's only
Wolfenstein.
secretly announced.
Quake,
Yeah, Quake.
Dishonored.
That's the next big one. Thank you. We will do not look for day one reviews. We'll have day one impressions.
Oh, yeah.
The review in progress. That's sort of what that product was born out of, and now it will seemingly get even more use. But yeah, no more full scale.
And it's not just.
reviews.
I mean, it's not just Bethesda. Like we saw it this fall with a lot of 2K games, like Mafia, which I reviewed. I started when everyone else started, so I did play through it that weekend and get the review up. And Civ and
WWE 2K.
WWE.
Yeah.
So if you are the type of person that pre-orders a game, I think I just want to ask that you be mindful that the content that will be coming out pre-launch is going to be very controlled and very regimented. They're going to ask that it's gameplay clips. They're going to release all their very polished, pre-produced trailers, probably on the best hardware that they possibly can, to make their game
Well, they
look
always
the best.
do that anyway.
To make sure the game looks the best they possibly
Yeah, of
can. We do know that they send out these code to YouTubers and Twitch streamers with a caveat that you can't necessarily be critical of the product.
Sometimes that's not a blanket statement.
Correct. That's correct. So I just want our audience to be mindful that is the content that you're vastly going to be bombarded
Also,
with.
just don't,
and
don't
to make
pre-order
your,
games. We've
Yeah,
said this
yeah.
1,000
the
times.
safest thing you can do is not pre-order, not fall for the pre-order incentive where you get a bucket helmet that you can wear or something silly.
Bucket helmet.
Yeah, I don't know. You get those silly pre-order bonuses. Just be mindful of how you're spending your money. Take that stuff into consideration, and just make sure you're making informed buying decisions as well as you can.
Yeah, well said, Destin. I know I will add, the last time the pre-order discussion came up, I had a million replies saying, hey, well, on Amazon's, like Amazon specifically was like you get 20% off if you're a
that's
Prime
tough.
member, and that's big. But in most of those cases, that discount still applies within the first week of purchase. So you could still wait for reviews. You could still wait to see, and it's not even necessarily about reviews. It's a game might be horribly broken when it launches, and you might want to hold off, or at least you might want to just wait till it either smooths out or
a game just might run significantly better on one console as opposed to the other. You wanna
very
wait for
true.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very true. So
I just don't want to see our audience, our listeners, our readers get burned by anything like this. And I just be careful out there, you guys.
I was going to say, like, going along with what you're saying, like, there's definitely incentives to pre-order things, especially if you know that you're going to buy this game. But, like, in my mind, you have to weigh the pros against the cons, which is, like, is there any situation in which what you gain from pre-ordering a game is worth the price of paying for a game that you hate?
Yeah, I mean, if
or didn't
something,
want?
if there's a super limited
never,
special
right?
edition where if you don't pre-order it, you're probably not going to get this cool statue or this thing. Like, I get it. Like,
Yeah, that I get.
there's certain things, or
the Prime discount, or like the Best Buy Club's like usually like a $10 thing or whatever. So there are definitely tangible reasons.
or a lot of times if you pre-order, you might get the previous game in the series for free. or
Yes, that
something
happened
like
with South Park.
Yeah.
I think didn't that even
I think
Dishonored?
Dishonored, that might
Yeah.
be
So-
from certain places.
There are. It's just we would never tell you exactly what to do with your money. It's not our job. But our job is to help inform you about how to best allocate your resources. And that's all I want this discussion to be, this conversation to be, is we're telling you about Bethesda's policy, which they made public. So just be wary of that whenever pre-ordering one of their games or anyone's games. But in this case, particularly Bethesda, because you will not see reviews from any major outlet, any independent outlet, until, depending on the kind of game it is, in days after release. Which again, I've been doing this a long, long time, and it's follow the money. I mean, it's an old dumb cliche.
So when people inevitably show up on day one of Fallout 5's release, and they're like, "Where's your guys' review?" We will point you to this segment.
We're sadly having to write those little articles on the website more and more often.
Well, this is why we have reviews in progress at IGN, because for so long, Call of Duty would launch, and a lot of outlets gave it a high score, and then it launches and it's a disaster.
The online,
the online's a mess, and stuff like that.
Battlefield's a better.
Battlefield,
Call of Duty.
Although I was
pretty
about
much
to say,
Call of Duty
Call of Duty has traditionally been very good about
Battlefield.
No, they had
Battlefield 4 is the prime example.
That was the
of
catalyst for.
I'm thinking before Battlefield 4, the first time this happened was with a Call of Duty game.
Well, we're also ignoring
And that
a
was
big,
the big
one.
one.
Master Chief
Collection, yeah.
Yeah, those are newer examples also. They're also good examples, and that's why we do review in progress. We just wait a day or two to see if the servers are settled, and then we're able to put a final score on it. But we do launch with scores now.
Yeah, I mean, the fact of the matter is,
usually,
Bethesda can control when media has access to the game before launch with preview events and preview coverage, but once it goes out into a reviewer's hands, they don't have control anymore. So they sort of run the risk of something negative being said and making even one person go, "Oh, I'm going to cancel my pre-order," and they don't want that. That's, they want that money to get from your pocket into theirs, and that is the goal of that's their goal as a business. So just be aware. Just be aware of this policy going forward, and we are obviously not thrilled about it. We are going to do everything we can to revert that policy, and but we're going to continue to do as right by you as we can. So these guys will all be cranking hard as soon as we can get access to the game. Marty, you had to do that exact thing with Mafia 3, where you got it the day it released in Australia. It was the first public place in the world, and then by the end of that day, you'd had 8 hours in or whatever, and you had impressions at least of the early part of the game to at least help our audience however you possibly could.
Yeah, we're gonna keep doing this. It's not like we're not gonna cover Skyrim Remastered.
Yeah,
it's not like we're not gonna cover Dishonored, and it's not like we're not excited for those games. I'm
100%.
so stoked for Dishonored. Yeah,
Absolutely.
Kind of tangentially related, I wanted to the topic, but more of a broader scope thing for you guys is have you ever? I guess my question is as reviewers, do you guys see reviews playing a huge part in how well a game does?
Bethesda clearly doesn't anymore,
right?
And I don't say that with malice. I'm just cold. This decision tells me they don't think reviews are, because a lot of publishers, especially in the older days,
reviews can only hurt. Is what you're saying? They can't.
No, that's what Bethesda's saying. That is my interpretation of what Bethesda is saying, but. It used to be where
sales
reviews could really help you, and they were seen as very valuable to the launch of a game. But now Bethesda's, I think, saying otherwise.
No, and reviews absolutely can help. And I know just anecdotally, if there's a smaller game and I review it and I'm like, this is amazing, like with Gone Home, I give it a 9.5, and a bunch of people were like, no idea what this was, but you gave it a high score and I trust you and I played it and it's great.
Here's a great recent example. Dying Light,
exactly.
That game took off and sold huge, in part because it got good reviews and the word of mouth spread on it.
That game is good.
Yeah, I was looking at our review traffic this year and stuff like indie games like The Witness and Undertale. They did amazing traffic because we gave them 10s. I mean, that's in part people are like, whoa, IGN doesn't throw around 10s lightly. What's going on here? So I imagine at least someone bought those games based on our reviews.
Yeah, and see, that's kind of what I wanted to bring up, because personally, and just speaking here for myself, reviews never deter me or encourage me to see or not see or play or not play a game that I've already made a decision about. So
yeah, that's fair.
Example is I just saw Jack Reacher 2. Terrible movie. But I'd already made up my mind that I was going to see that movie. So when the reviews hit and they were bad, I was not I'm not going to see it.
Right.
And I have to wonder that maybe there's a lot of gamers out there who feel the same way. It's like they have their mind made up about a game, so whether or not the reviews are good or not has really no impact on whether or not they buy that game, which means that the sales, in effect, are or are not whatever they were going to be, reviews part of the process or not. So I guess, like, I just wanted to know if you guys thought that that was something, like a trend that you guys saw, because you both have been around for a long time.
Well, I think a lot of people felt burned by No Man's Sky, for example.
Sure.
Like that's a game I was very excited about.
Yeah, there's probably got to be some examples
And
where it's like very clear that bad reviews caused this game to sell worse, or the other way around even.
I just wanted to add to Destin's point, that was a game where review copies were not sent out.
Yeah.
Which was cited as a day one patch was cited as the reason for that. But you're right. I mean, that's there were no
very low.
There were no day one reviews
low.
for that game. So that's kind of that's the other side of the Doom coin.
You want to know what happened with No Man's Sky? Go look on Steam and see the reviews of that product. And you'll have a pretty clear indication of how the community felt about being misled about what it ended up being.
Things are certainly changing. I mean, I personally, possibly because I've just do what I do and have been doing it for a long time, I absolutely use reviews when I buy something. I mean, a great example is whenever I want to get something on Amazon and I'm trying to figure out what to get, like if it's, I don't know, I guess a good example is a couple years ago I got rid of my old gas-powered lawnmower. I'm like, I want to get just a little electric lawnmower. I have no idea which one I should get. And I used Amazon user reviews to help inform my decision. So, sometimes you know exactly what you want, like you're talking about, Sean. Like, well, totally seeing this Jack Reacher movie, whatever. It is going to be whatever it is. But I think there, for many people, many gamers, reviews definitely either at least help them or provide them some sort of service, either maybe sort of confirming their purchasing confirmation bias, or giving them a reason to.
I mean, hey,
because I'll read reviews when I have no idea what it's about, or like if I have no instincts of my own, that's when I look to reviews. Like, I'm about to upgrade phones because, like, my phone, I don't want the iPhone 7 though, even though I think the camera is really great, because I hate the headphone jack thing.
And
so
the new OS is awful.
It is really, that's so true. So I was looking at the Google Pixel, which is an Android phone, but I haven't had Android phones ever, so I know nothing about that ecosystem. I was like, I'll read a review.
Sure.
And it was pretty helpful.
Also, in a perfect world, all game reviews would be Final Fantasy 13-3 Lightning Returns, because I reviewed that, and I got the game 2 months early.
Whoa. Yeah.
Welcome to the first 8 years of my career.
That was great. The game came out in like February, and I had it before Christmas.
That's crazy.
This is great. Let's do this.
Well, that's back when games used to be done in advance and not done
the good old
weeks
days.
after release.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens, because now all the pressure is put on the developer. If you release a bad product, you're going to have a No Man's Sky scenario. Like, the community is not going to take it lightly if you mislead them.
Yeah, I guess
so
like the kind of silver
careful.
lining here is that, like, traditionally Bethesda's really good about their games.
Yeah, I think Skyrim's going to be
fair.
fine. Like, I don't think you're going to run into a PS3
critically.
versus Xbox scenario again, where the PS3 versions was pretty rough.
I mean, that's another thing, though, is like, that is like...
Yeah.
That's relevant information.
Yeah, like the fact that the PS3 version of Skyrim still is a mess.
Well, and as
I remember the PS3 version of Fallout 3 would straight up stop working.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Because I at the time worked at OXM, so we only got was the PS3 version of Skyrim sent out for reviews, or did they only? Because I know it used to be in the last
Pretty
generation.
sure we had
they
that
would
one early.
usually only send one.
Sure.
Version. Back then, it was the 360 version was kind of usually the default version.
Yeah.
That a
I was
publisher
not
would
in the
send,
industry
but
at that time.
Anyway, that's I guess
Was
neither
that
here nor
during
there.
2011?
Yeah, you were. You were working
2011.
on Start, because I did the Skyrim wiki.
Oh, you're right. 2012 then, right?
Wabbajack.
You do gloss over a good point there, Sean, and that's I mean, they can Bethesda can get away with this for Dishonored 2 probably, and for Fallout 4 and the bigger stuff. But what about when you've got a relatively untested, unknown thing like Prey, or some of these other smaller new IPs or smaller things? What then? Will will the lack of reviews sort of hurt that product by not having that sort of push if it's good, that sort of like elevating effect? Or, if you get into a boy who cried wolf situation enough where you get enough bad games that weren't able to have reviews out there, do consumers start to lose trust in the company at that point? It's going to be interesting to watch.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, you lose the trust, you lose your pre-orders. It's bad business.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. But in any case, that is the message to pass along. So Dishonored is the next example. We will have a review in progress as close to 11/11 as we possibly can. Which, gosh, oh my gosh, that's like 2 weeks away, isn't it?
That's real soon.
Oh, man, it's coming up quick.
Yeah.
Oh, that means the election will be over soon. Thank God.
Yeah, I'm really, really excited to just not see that stuff in my Twitter feed.
Oh, you and me both.
It's for like a month after the election. You're still going to be hearing about it.
But the election will be over.
Yeah.
Dishonored will be out. PS4 Pro will be out. And NES Classic will be out.
So we can just
life
play
will
games,
get a lot better.
play games and forget about all that.
Forget about the election cycle.
NES Classic will be out, and if you didn't get one day one, you're not going to get one in 2016.
Oh, take my money. I just don't want to get snubbed on allocation for that. And I know I just said don't pre-order, but it's a closed ecosystem product of 30 known things that I already know I like.
Yeah.
So.
And it's like, isn't it pretty cheap too?
$60.
Yeah, come on.
I was really hoping that at the Switch announcement you were going to be able to pre-order the Switch before the
Oh,
NES Classic.
man.
I was really hoping that was going to happen.
Extra burn.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, on a related note,
I
while we're
really
talking
like this
about
story.
Bethesda, Destin, if you can't get enough Elder Scrolls V Skyrim in your life, there is soon to be Skyrim Monopoly.
Yes. This sounds great. Like, why not? They do all sorts of theme monopolies. They have a Star Wars monopoly. Skyrim is a major property. Like, it did traffic for us for like 3 years after launch. It still does traffic today. But like, I'm talking like some of our top wiki traffic. So this is really exciting to see that we're gonna get a monopoly version.
What
of
is
Skyrim.
the boardwalk property of Skyrim? That's what it's called, right? Boardwalk, the most expensive property.
Yeah, of course.
in
Yeah,
the
Boardwalk
world.
and Park Place.
Yeah.
Oh,
What
I
is
don't
the
know.
boardwalk of
I would
the
think
Skyrim world?
Wouldn't it be
The
the
Lufendel,
like,
I can't remember the name of it, I
dragon's
think.
home up on top of the mountain there? You'd think.
I'm asking you guys.
Well,
I did not-
I haven't played it in 5
Yeah.
years.
Guys,
I didn't actually get that far.
I'm going to give you all a hot take. Monopoly is the worst board game of all time.
No, it's not.
I
It's
know.
fantastic.
Hey, Come on.
Monopoly.
I'm
Why?
kind of your side.
hate Monopoly.
It's not-
Why?
It's such a trash
It
chance
takes
game.
forever.
It takes forever.
You make up
It
your
has
own
no
rules.
skill. No, that's not a good game. That's a bad game. If you have to make up your own rules for that hellscape
it-
of a
yeah.
maw of 3 hours of your life.
It eventually devolves into like, in order to get one player out, you
Yeah.
form alliances.
Well,
like,
I
it's
will
awesome.
say-
it just takes forever.
I would venture a guess that 1% of all Monopoly games are ever finished.
yeah.
yeah.
It takes
happen.
about an hour if you're 4 players to finish a Monopoly
That's
game.
that's
But
a
the-
speed round.
The trick
speedrun.
is if one person gets all 3 properties, then that person's probably going to win. If nobody trades, though, that's really hard to do. I like Monopoly.
Play a better board game like Settlers of Catan or something.
Play checkers.
Monopoly's great. You
I
guys
want
are great.
Skyrim
Chess.
checkers.
Play the original board game. Wait,
Well-
is chess older than checkers?
I would think so.
Chess is definitely not the original board game.
No, it's
That's
not.
why I'm joking when I said that, but now I'm wondering if it's older than checkers.
No.
I think checkers is older.
No, dude. Like there's games.
Welcome to IGN's
Yeah.
#1 checkers podcast.
board game boardcast.
What's the game in Japan that a lot of people play with
Go.
white? Go. Yeah,
Go.
Go's the
Super
oldest
Mario
one that I
Brothers.
think I know of.
No, Super Mario Bros. Is the oldest game.
That's the oldest board game.
Very first board game.
Skyrim Monopoly will allow players to buy and sell property around the realms of Tamriel, from creating villages in Winterhold to breaking ground on massive castles in
Winterhold
Windhelm.
is the place.
Yeah, all the lore, characters, and locations will be straight from the video game. When released in March 2017, Skyrim Monopoly will cost $48.
That's a little pricey.
Well, that's a little much.
Yeah.
That's a little much considering you can get a regular vanilla Monopoly for what, like $10, $12?
I can't think of the last time I bought a board game. Or saw anyone else buy a board
By the way,
We have
if-
a lot of board game enthusiasts in the office.
we do.
Yeah, we have a
John
we have a
Borba.
show.
Yeah.
Sort of.
If one of whatever they're calling chance in community chess, if one of the chance cards isn't "you took an arrow to the knee, lose a turn," they will have failed it completely.
There's a lot of opportunities.
Are we
for
going to have to
memes
hear about
to
this
appear in
all
this
over
game,
again
for
now
sure.
that the special edition's coming out?
Yes.
Is taking an arrow to the knee coming back?
Yeah.
Whoever that dude,
dang.
whoever made that music video is probably going to get 1 million more hits on YouTube.
That thing's probably still generating 1 million hits every
Probably.
month.
My first million view video was an arrow to the knee montage.
Really? My first million view video for IGN was that Skyrim Super Bowl thing that we did on One Up.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Giants.
That almost kept us alive. Almost. If only we could have just done one of those every week.
We tried it again in the future, and it just didn't traffic again. I don't know why that one blew up, but that
Yeah, I don't
one
know why,
totally
Because
did.
it had the heart of oneup.com where gamers call home until 2015.
Just,
where
just
gamers
side note.
became homeless.
Go back and watch some of the features that we produced on One Up's YouTube channel, which is still around. Right?
You had the
I think
box
so.
that rolled out and it to the logo.
More like
I
none
that.
of.
We had some crazy features. There's one where Jose's being stalked by the
Solid Snake
solid
statue.
snake statue. It keeps like appearing behind him, and he's like, guys, look, and then they all look, and he's gone, and he goes crazy. There's a lot of weird stuff on that channel. That was awesome.
I 100% want a Mass Effect version of Monopoly.
There isn't
The
one?
Citadel could be Boardwalk.
There isn't one already?
I understand that reference now.
You're 2 hours in.
I'm 5 hours in. 5 hours in the
What's
Mass
the
Effect.
last thing that happened in your story?
Who have you made out with?
I haven't made out with anyone. Evidently, you can't have same-sex relationships in Mass Effect 1.
Not
so
one,
I'm a
You can if you're a
and
lady.
beyond.
I'm a femshep.
You can if you're a lady.
No, people on the internet have told me no. Not in Mass Effect 1.
Well,
but
okay,
I'm a
you can have human female and female alien relationships.
I don't know. That's not what the internet told me. But I'm
They're
in the
wrong.
Citadel.
They are 100% wrong.
No, the internet's never wrong. I'm in the Citadel. I have Rex and Garrus now, who are much better than Ashley and
Yo.
Kaiden or whatever his name is.
Garrus
They're
is
both.
cool.
Those two are the worst.
Yeah, they're both
Have
terrible.
you-
I wanted it. I tried.
No,
I was
Ashley
flirting
and
with
Kaiden
Ashley.
are the worst.
I was flirting with Ashley.
Whatever.
And it turns
He's
out
dead.
Ashley's a space racist.
Yeah,
People
she's
tell me
awful.
that.
That's true.
No, she's just
You know what?
pro-human.
She's a space racist. She
internet-
straight up is racist.
The internet needs to stop sort of spoiling things for you by
Yeah.
telling
That's
you.
why I was gonna say, when I saw you tweeting about Mass Effect, I'm like, someone's gonna tweet you what happens in the story, and that's gonna ruin it for you.
Oh, dang. All right,
Like,
I'm going off the grid.
Yeah, go
Have
off the
you
grid.
met
Just
yet
play through
with
it.
the
Oh, yeah,
aliens
with
who's
the Elcor?
The Elcor.
Oh, I love
They're
the
the
Elcor.
best.
Where they say like the first line of everything they say is like the
it's
emotion.
their emotion.
of the-
They
yeah.
describe
Yeah,
their
yeah.
emotions.
It's so great. Yeah, so
Because they can't emote. That's why.
Yeah.
With
There's also a joke.
enthusiasm,
There's a
you're
joke,
going to
uh,
love this game.
There's also a joke later on where it's like one of those Elcor is like starring in a Hamlet adaptation, and I'm like,
that's
wait
so
a
good.
second.
Yeah.
So the
Mass
Effect
the
2.
combat in Mass Effect 1 is butt.
Yeah.
Especially coming off of Gears.
It's not that bad.
It's
oh, coming off of Gears.
coming off of Gears, which
to
is like
Mass
a
Effect,
near
yeah.
perfect third person
The
combat
thing is,
engine.
Yeah, you have to remember that Mass Effect 1 came off the back of Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
So it,
Which was real butt
Yeah.
combat.
also
yeah.
that game is 10 years old.
Yeah. Oh no.
Next
And,
year, 9.
I mean,
It's
what I'm
9.
saying
I
is
know.
like
I round up.
that combat's butt, but I really don't care because the story and the characters so far are fantastic.
Yeah,
I
I was
love
gonna say-
like, Citadel is such a rad place.
It's so
What
good,
makes-
isn't it?
what
Like,
makes
it
Mass
feels
Effect-
good.
Dude, you're gonna get to 2 and just be like,
I'm
because it's
super
such a
stoked.
change.
Sort of.
Let's just let him.
I'm just talking. He's talking
I know,
about
let him
the
enjoy
crappy
it.
combat.
No. The game and the systems
ruin the Citadel.
Like the game design and the systems and the mechanics are all way better in 2, but what makes 1 the better game is the storytelling and
Yeah.
the characters. Like it's such a cinematic
Yeah.
game.
Speak the truth, my friend.
I'm a
why
Mass
I love
Effect
that.
3 fan.
You don't even know what you're saying.
Yeah, but we'll see.
Please do go off the grid and finish that game because I want to talk to you about
you weren't on,
that's
you weren't
the
on that
story
episode.
points.
If I don't finish all 3 games by the time Andromeda comes out,
He's
I'm
quitting.
quitting the show.
but someone
No, you said you're
selfishly-
quitting IGN.
I'll also quit IGN.
You said you're
and
quitting.
aren't you
straight
also
up.
buying Alana and I In and Out?
Yeah, that'll be my last act.
That's
at-
isn't that also happening?
Yeah.
And then we're buying you In and Out if you actually finish all 3 games.
I'll do it.
I'm starting Mass Effect 2 soon, so not to
Selfishly,
not
I don't care if you finish all 3 games. I just want to talk to you about 1 because that's the story.
If
is
you
so
played
cool.
every night for a few hours for 2 weeks, you'd be done with 1.
That would require him to not go to the bar.
I got into
Can I bring my gaming PC to the bar and hook it up to the
Actually,
TV?
yeah, you could bring a laptop.
Yeah.
I got into a really big discussion over the weekend about this because, like, Nick Scarpino and I went and saw Jack Reacher, and
It was awful.
well, yeah,
Don't go see
I already
it.
said that before. But like, we
Just
got
find
into
it.
an argument about video game storytelling versus movie storytelling, and he was like, "Video game storytelling sucks. There are no video games with good stories." And I was like, "Hold on," and I had to tell him the whole story of Mass Effect to demonstrate that he was wrong.
Mass Effect
didn't really have the same effect.
Portal 2.
Yeah.
There are
Anything
plenty.
Tim Schafer has ever touched.
Yep.
Journey, Uncharted, The Last of Us.
We're getting there.
Like,
I mean, is it
BioShock,
Is it way behind
Halo.
movies
Oh, yeah.
overall? Yes.
Yeah.
well, so my argument was
But-
like,
We're getting there.
Combat story.
no, we're
Combat,
in the
Firewatch.
If you're judging, and I don't want to get this is a whole discussion unto itself, but my argument was
Breakdown.
that if you're judging storytelling by the cinematic standard, then yes, gameplay gets in the way of that. But I think for a lot of people, video game storytelling isn't the cinematic form of storytelling. It's the experience you have of playing the game. Like if you ask people like what their memory of X game was, they're like, "Oh, I remember playing that game with my dad on the couch."
Yeah.
That's the storytelling.
Yeah.
Like that's what storytelling a video game is. And so like to say one is definitively better than the other, it's like comparing apples and oranges.
Voodoo Vince is literally coming back because Phil Spencer had
Played the game on the
played
couch.
it with his kids
Yeah.
when they were young. At least that's my interpretation of it. So Marty, that's actually there's one other key question that I must know. Paragon or Renegade?
Oh, I'm gonna go Paragon. I'm every game I played in
Grow a pair!
in Fable. I always have a halo over my head. I'm
Oh,
like the most
man.
Jedi ever.
You know,
in KOTOR.
Paragon too,
Yeah.
man.
When Peter Molyneux was in here for the Xbox One reveal 3 years ago, 3.5. I think it was then that I asked him, "Hey, do you play good or evil in Fable?" And he had told me that, and I'm pretty sure this was on the air, and even if it's not, whatever, it's fine now, I'm sure. But he had told me that something like 90% of players will play good.
Yeah.
If you give them the choice.
Still good in the world.
Which, yeah, it does actually reaffirm a little bit of faith in humanity, but I go evil. I was so evil in KOTOR.
Yo.
I was so evil in all three Mass Effects.
I can't do it.
Because I can't. Like, no, games usually don't allow me
Yeah.
that, and I want to see what happens.
See, I totally get that, but it's because I am the character that I
Right.
feel like I have to be good.
But I can't punch reporters in real life.
So again,
So Mass Effect allows
Go
me
out
to
there
do
and
that.
punch Goldfarb.
Renegade is definitely more fun.
Really? Okay.
Like
we film
Renegade
it?
is definitely more fun in Mass Effect. I watched my roommate play it after I played through as Paragon, and that part where he punches out the reporter came out of nowhere. It's so good.
In Mass Effect 2, I shoved a man off of a building,
That's
off
awesome.
of an under construction
That's your
building.
first.
Should-
That's
Spoiler
like
because
your,
alert,
all it
Marty.
says is like the Renegade option is just says shut her up. Like it doesn't give you any indication that you're going to physically
Well, that's
assault
what's
her.
cool
Yeah.
about Mass Effect is it none of the dialogue
Oh, yeah.
choices are ever explicitly
Yeah.
telling
Yeah.
you precisely what's going to happen, either with the dialogue itself or
Yeah.
with the Paragon or Renegade action.
Yeah. That's cool though.
You're making me want to go play Mass Effect 1
Mass
now.
Effect-
really
It's
good.
so
Are you playing on
good.
Xbox One or PC?
PC.
Because
Yeah.
Dan made you.
Not because Dan maybe, it's just because Dan
Well-
let me take home a super small PC that runs really
I don't-
well. And I also
that-
did
you
I don't
buy
even know where
them?
my 360 or my PS3
Well,
are.
Where'd you buy the games?
I'm just using my press account.
The loading
They don't
times,
have 2 and 3.
Oh
Yeah, they
man,
do.
loading
Yeah, well,
times, yeah.
Loading
The
time-
elevators.
the loading times are you're better off on PC for Mass Effect 1 in 2016. The loading times,
loading times are great.
and the
Yeah.
fact that only Mass Effect 1 is backwards compatible. So I don't.
Oh, yeah, that's
right?
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks great on
So
Xbox
yeah,
One.
you wouldn't be able to
Little
if
frame
you,
rate
if you make it
dips
through
near
this
the
little endeavor of yours, you wouldn't be able
Well,
to.
and Dan
on-
also
on
like
Xbox.
downloaded a bunch of patches and things that like the game looks a little bit
So
better,
you're-
and I'm able to play with
clean it
control,
up.
which was something that was like
Yeah.
you sort of had to mod
It's
in.
3 is not available on Steam though. It's on EA Origin.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I'll get there.
Sort it out
I'll sort it out.
All
All
right.
3 of them are on my desktop, so
Okay.
one at a time.
it'd be funny if I beat both games. I'm like, oh, 3's not on here. I'm quitting.
Yeah.
All right, we'll give you the money. We'll start a GoFundMe for the $10 it probably costs.
Borrow my copy.
Do you guys remember the launch trailer for Mass Effect 2? That's like one of my favorite video game trailers. Like
very
No,
good.
not for 2.
It's very, very,
it's
very
so
good.
I want to do
the
we should
intro
do a
of
feature about that. Have we done that feature? Best video game trailers?
We should.
No.
Yeah. I think we
Pitch
did
it.
a face-off.
What?
I think we did a face-off.
We should move on because we've been in an
Moving
hour.
along already. Yeah.
Short
Okay,
episode.
Destin, I guess we'll
It's all
move
right.
on then.
I'm just moving like on Fireteam Chat. You know, I'm a
Way to
stickler
kill
for
the
time, man.
conversation.
Finally this week. So last week we talked about the NPD hardware numbers, with the Xbox One being the best-selling U.S. home console for the third month in a row. Well, the software numbers are in, and sadly the actual numbers aren't in, but the rankings are in. 1 through 10, here we go. So let me know if you sense a pattern, gentlemen. NBA 2K17, the number one selling game. That is, by the way, not a surprise. That game, whether you believe it or not, or whether some people I think just don't even realize NBA 2K is a juggernaut.
Yeah.
It not only does well in the U.S., but it's huge in China as well.
Basketball
is huge
in China.
there.
Yeah.
Also,
So-
those games are just really good every year.
That too.
Really? On Xbox?
On everything.
Huh.
Well, I don't think they're on PC. Did they? No, I don't think they're on PC. It's just PS4. But they're on. I think they're still doing old gen versions, so that certainly helps goose the numbers because there are still plenty of 360s and PS3s out there. But
Good point.
Right.
NBA 2K17, Madden NFL 17 doing strong in its third month. Second month because these are the September numbers. Sorry. FIFA 17, NHL 17. That's actually really good showing for NHL. That's a series
Hockey.
that.
That's hockey, everybody.
Yes. Thank you, Destin. Thank you, resident Canadian. Yeah, NHL 17 at number 4 in its debut month. BioShock the Collection
That's an old game.
makes me a little sad inside. At number 5, Destiny the Collection.
Woot woot.
At number 6, Grand Theft Auto 5 slipping to number 7, but still continuing.
But still on there.
Still continuing.
What, 3 years old now? 4 years
I don't
old?
believe it's been off the top 10 since it came out.
That's
3
crazy.
years ago.
That's crazy.
I don't have any proof of that. That's just my gut talking, but I'm going to bet I'm right on that.
We're seven games in, and we got sports and old games.
Sports and old games. Overwatch?
Old games.
Old
That one's
game.
new.
It's new.
Ish.
It's newish.
Forza
Horizon 3 at number
Newish.
9.
There we go. Did it.
Nice.
And
Actually
number
new.
10, Black Ops 3. So
I've said this many times,
Black Ops
but I am
3.
not a big racing games guy.
Yeah,
but
you were gonna say, I'm
everything
not a
I
big
saw,
racer.
I thought you were
No.
going there too. I was like,
no,
good
nothing
for you. It's a
like
heck
that.
of an episode.
Good for you.
I'm not a big racing game guy, but Forza Horizon 3 looks awesome.
It
and
doesn't
I really
look,
want to get
is
it.
awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm
Didn't we
honestly, go ahead, Destin.
Didn't we have a bet about Minecraft?
I don't know.
Like staying
I
on
don't
this
remember
list?
a bet.
I
I'm
thought
sure it's come up.
I thought we said that Minecraft would be on this list, but it's not.
It's
this
not.
month. So
It's
yeah,
snot.
Minecraft is dead, y'all.
it finally fell off the list. Will it be back next month? Stay tuned to find out.
Probably not next month.
No.
I'll bet it's back in January though.
Yeah.
Honestly, once the big fall releases are over.
Again, NPD is only hard copies, right? I'll bet you.
No,
No,
it
it's
works in-
moved to digital.
Yes.
Oh, it does. Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to
Oh.
say because I'll bet you most of
Interesting.
Minecraft copies being sold these days are digital copies.
No,
Probably.
it was on the physical reports for like ever.
That's what I was
That's-
saying. But they're just saying NPD is now digital
You're
and
both
hardware.
correct. You're both correct. It was certainly selling a lot of physical copies on 360 and on Xbox One as well.
But if
But
you're
it's also
including,
selling a lot of digital copies.
if you're including digital sales, it'll never beat like whatever's big that month.
Minesweeper.
I don't think.
Still the number one game in my heart.
I'm really happy for Playground and for the Forza series. I mean, Horizon 3 being on here because I know you might think, oh, well, it's only number 9, but I mean, the fact it's an exclusive release. Yes, I know it's on PC, but it is effectively a single platform release.
There's only
and
one of
there
those
is
on here.
it is yeah, you're correct. It is the only single platform release on the top 10, and it's just great to see because really with Horizon 2, I mean, the first Horizon was good. Horizon 2 made the leap into, GOAT kind of territory as far as racing goes, and Horizon 3's only improves upon it. But
Game
Horizon
of
has
the year.
always lagged behind in sales to Motorsport, understandably so for a while. But even like Motorsport, I feel like when it comes out every other year, only ends up in about this position on the NPD chart. So I'm just happy to see that Horizon seems to anecdotally be doing about as well as Motorsport does, which thank goodness, because again, I think Horizon's now the better series and I want it to continue.
It also came out at a good time before sort of the madness of the fall.
Very true. Yeah, good stuff. Marketplace report, Marty sleeve. Actually, you know what? Sean
Wait, did we get
Finnegan-
to the last one? Call of Duty 3?
Yeah.
Or Call of
Yeah,
Duty
I mentioned
Black Ops
it.
3? Okay, cool.
You know,
It'd be weird if it was just Call of Duty 3.
Yeah.
Coming back, throwback.
Hey, Treyarch, what? Sean Finnegan, we don't get to see you too often.
Yeah.
Marketplace report. What can we spend our money on this week?
At retail, we have Titanfall 2, Skyrim
I'm
SC.
so-
what is that?
Special edition.
Special edition. There
I'm
we go.
so eager to dive in. I've heard nothing but interestingly good things about the Titanfall 2 campaign. Now, the
very
report,
excited to play the campaign.
the report from Brendan Tyrell is that it's excellent. It's not like going to blow your mind kind of good, but it's a really, really, really good campaign. Just a lot of variety, a lot of things to do. So I can't wait to hop into that. I mean, that's what I've been wanting out of Titanfall since the first one came out, when
Absolutely.
it didn't have it. So can't wait.
Skyrim Special Edition, we said that. Farming Simulator, is that 17, I read? Farming
Probably
Simulator
the year.
17.
2017. Sean.
Got it. Okay, not the 17th.
The 17th farming
Yeah.
simulator.
Because I was going to say, and that's a $50 game, by the way. That's
Discount.
People like farming.
Can I buy
Yeah,
the
I guess that's
Farming
super
Simulator
fun.
17 Corn Husker Deluxe
Those,
Shucking Edition?
It's only if you pre-order it at Farm and Fleet.
those games are
What?
fun two ways. Like, yeah, you can make a realistic farm and just farm it and like do really well at farming, or you can make a totally ridiculous farm that's just stupid and
How-
giggle about what you've created.
How is the marketing tagline not "Get shucked"
it might be.
or "Shuck you"?
That's a good one. Farming
It's a missed
Simulator.
opportunity, you guys.
Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, which I love Dragon Ball, and Just Dance 2017. That's at retail. On
Cash
the
cow.
digital front, we have King's Quest Chapter 5, The Good Night at $10. Oh, God.
Is every episode title a pun?
That's really good.
I'm so
That's really
happy
good.
about this.
Kirinaga's Revenge at $20. Don't know what that is.
Puzzle game, little 2D puzzle
Big
game.
Buck Hunter Arcade at $20. Got to send that one over to Matt Moresco.
Remember when those used to be just multi-million sellers by virtue of being on the shelf at Walmart?
Yep.
And I mean, I remember when I worked at Staples in college.
Oh, yeah.
And
The PC
there was
version?
a
Yeah.
there was a PC games section in our software section, amongst the productivity, like office software, and we would always get in every shipment, every week shipment, there'd usually be a copy or two of the Big Buck Hunter game, because every week somebody would buy one or two of them. And they're just
Is there
consistently
a
sold.
big Buck Hunter game where you fight like mythical beasts? Like where you have to
there
hunt
should be.
Wendigos?
Monster Hunter.
Griffins.
Yeah, I guess that's what Monster Hunter is. Yeah. All right. Yep.
Infinite Air
Capcom
with
did it,
Mark
Marty.
McCorris.
What's that?
Yeah, who is that?
Who's that? I want to
You
find
guys
out.
don't know
Nothing.
Mark McCorris?
That title could not be less descriptive than what it is. What Infinite Air? So is it like a snowboarding game?
It's
Like,
a
you get
flying
lot of-
game
a
because
flying
it's
game?
infinite air. No, it's not. It's a.
Is it like
some
Pilot
sort of-
Wings?
Some sort of.
Is Mark
extreme
McCorris
sports.
like a skydiver?
Also,
Wait, how are you pronouncing it?
McCorris?
Mark Morris.
Mark McMorris.
That's what I said. Oh, okay.
Yeah, dropping an M there, Sean.
Whatever.
I'm like, wait a second. This doesn't sound right. What are these guys saying?
McCorris?
Also, it's ballsy of that game to throw that dude's name in the title when no one knows
They were
who
like,
he
the
is.
name
Well,
is important. It's really
Come
marketable.
on, this is one of those things where
Name sounds fake.
literally everyone who likes that sport knows who Mark
You don't
McMorris
even
is.
know what sport.
3 M's.
But none of
Mark
us know.
McMorris. That name sounds fake.
How much do you guys want to bet that literally no one out in the editorial pit knows who that is?
We live
No,
in San
one
Francisco
person
where nobody
knows.
we don't
Yeah.
have the
Are you looking
space
it up?
to have dirt bikes or
Matt
anything.
Moresco knows
It's
who Mark
definitely-
McMorris is.
I'll
He's
bet
a-
Kirsten Slater knows who he is.
Yeah.
His nicknames are McLovin and McRib.
Oh my god.
He is a 22-year-old snowboarder
22?
from
I was
Regina,
right.
Saskatchewan.
Snowboarder. I said
Somebody
that
out there knows
first.
who he is.
Don't
Just
know
saying.
who it is.
My life.
I thought, are we
I'm
like
not
the Sean
I didn't
White
accomplish
people?
anything by 22.
Yeah.
This guy's got his own video game.
Why do we
could-
even know who Sean White is?
Because he was like...
He was an Olympian.
Olympian,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Okay.
He won
Like,
us a
when I
bunch of
think-
gold
I
medals.
can't remember
When I
why,
think of
but I knew he was
snowboarders,
The flying
like that's
tomato.
the most marketable snowboarder to me. Yeah, like he's got that big red hair. Or
Well,
he
he used
Mark
to.
McMorris has been dating Coco Ho, a pro surfer, since
Who's
2012.
that? Who is Coco Ho?
Infinite Water with Coco Ho coming next week.
What are,
That's crazy. to me.
Infinite. I mean, to be fair, both water and air. If you're gonna slap the infinite name on something,
Yeah, those are both pretty
two good
infinite.
elements to do so.
That's hilarious. Moving on, Hasbro Family Fun Pack Super Edition.
Bunch of boards. We're talking about board games. If you like those, there you go.
Team 17 Variety Pack, $24.75.
Worms, etc.
Interesting price point.
It's on sale.
Ginger Beyond the Crystal.
That's weird. I think of Ginger, who works here.
Yeah.
Monster
like in a
Jam,
crystal game.
Crush It.
This game's called Monster Jam Crush It.
By the way,
Crush It.
have you? So
It's gonna crush sales records.
Gravedigger is on the cover of this. I was way into monster trucks when I was a kid. When did Gravedigger become like the most popular monster truck? Because it used to be Bigfoot.
I was going to ask.
The blue Ford pickup, Bigfoot. But Gravedigger has completely usurped Bigfoot, and I don't know when and how that happened.
In my
You
3
are
years on the
asking the
show,
wrong
I have
people.
never been so confused. I've never been so out of my element.
Did you ever go to a monster truck rally when you were a kid?
Never.
No.
You're from Wisconsin.
Yeah.
I've been to one.
Is it big in the Midwest?
I don't,
Is it big in Arizona?
Yeah, they'd have them at Sun Devil Stadium, the college football stadium.
I never got how such a
Sunday,
little
Sunday,
car
Sunday.
powers such big wheels. Like, how do they...
The comedy button guys go to monster truck rallies all the
Yeah.
time.
Really?
They extend the chassis, I think, like just so
No,
it's
but how
further
does...
down and then put on the
but
big
isn't
wheels.
the engine still just like a regular-sized engine?
Well, no.
Do we
it's
really
want to
get into the engineering and physics of monster trucks?
It just seems like a really strange machine. A giant, like, huge wheels
well,
with
they're
a
not
tiny
street
engine and
legal,
car.
if that's what you're wondering. You won't see one rolling down Lombard Street. At least
That'd be
not
pretty
without
fun.
crushing
That'd
it.
be pretty fun.
That would be kind of amazing.
Actually awesome.
great.
though, yeah.
They do that in movies all the time.
Monster trucks down Lombard Street.
No, monster trucks just down a normal street running over cars.
Oh.
Yeah. I've seen it in a few flicks.
that old cinematic trope.
Yeah, I was like, I can't think of a single movie where that's happened, but I'll trust.
Anyway.
Remember that scene in Bullet when Steve McQueen gets in a monster truck?
Anyway, congratulations, Gravedigger, for apparently putting Bigfoot in a grave.
There you go.
Did you just congratulate a truck?
Yes.
Okay.
It has persevered.
He deserved it, Marty.
Gravedigger was cool when I was a kid, which was an eternity ago at this point.
What
What if
happened
it
to
came
Bigfoot?
out? What if it came out that Gravedigger's super racist? I got tapes, Ryan.
Gravedigger. So Gravedigger is Hulk Hogan.
Gravedigger's like,
Grab him by the bumper, Marty.
what the hell?
Last game on this list:
We're all fired.
Yeah.
Sherlock Holmes: The Devil's Daughter, $50.
Oh man.
Are those? I don't even.
People like Sherlock, I guess.
I like.
It's
Sherlock
honestly
Holmes.
it's a really good series. It's one
Yeah.
of those very
It was
under the
free,
radar.
so, recently.
It's
Not
a
that
really
one.
good adventure game series, like point and click style adventure.
Yeah, Sherlock was one of the games with gold recently.
That's true.
Are we going through all these games too?
What's going on in the marketplace?
That was
The
your
Orange
segue,
Box
Sean.
is now backwards compatible on Xbox One. Hooray.
Yes.
If you ever
Yay.
played those games,
Yay,
do
yay,
yourself
yay.
a favor.
Oh my gosh. You talk about, I didn't do that review for OXM, but one of the easiest 10s. Yeah, it's, my good, I mean, it was
all these amazing games.
Yeah.
it was
10?
it was a really excellent port of Half-Life 2. Fun fact, there was a not so good port of Half-Life 2 for the original Xbox.
That's right. Yeah.
But Half-Life 2, Episode 1, Episode 2, which, that cliffhanger
I
in
know.
Episode 2,
I
the portal tie-in, I need to know how it ends.
Well, they're never going to finish that series. So that's
Nope,
Plus,
that's over.
then
so-
Portal
Portal?
and Team Fortress 2.
And Team Fortress
which is
2.
an awesome shooter.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
unbelievable.
really, really good. October games with gold. We got Super Mega Baseball Extra Innings, which is all month, and then The Escapists from October 16th to November 15th on Xbox One.
October 16th to 11.
Yep. MX versus ATV Reflex.
R.I.P.
First 2 weeks
That's
of
over.
October.
Rest
That's
in
over.
peace.
Missed your chance.
And I Am Alive the last 2 weeks
All right,
of
that's now.
October. November games with gold. We got Super Dungeon Bros. That's all month long. Murdered Soul Suspect.
I
from-
remember when you played this.
Not a great
Yeah.
video game.
Murdered
It's
Soul Suspect?
interesting. It's
The concept is better than the execution.
Concept is
Is
better
that
than the
fair
Are
to
you talking
say?
about Murdered Soul
Yeah.
Suspect? Yeah, I actually was asking you about this game
Yeah.
last week because I was like, what if we did a short where it's like you have to investigate, because we love detective stories. How do you have to investigate your own murder? And someone's like, that's a video game. I don't remember what it's called. And then we found out, and I was disappointed.
By the way, that game killed that studio. I'm sorry to say.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Remember?
was it Airtight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get these next two games.
Bummer. Monkey Island Special Edition, the first 2 weeks of November, and Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon, the last 2 weeks of November.
I wish I could hold you
Those
all.
are both on
I
360.
wish I could hold every one of our listeners at gunpoint and make them play Monkey Island.
Well, you can, Ryan.
I can?
Yeah, Monkey Island is one of the best adventure games of all time.
It's just it's so good.
Real
It's
good.
unbelievable.
Those are both for 360, but they're both backwards compatible on Xbox One.
Yes. Good stuff. All right, let's come right back. We'll do the trivia that Destin's been eagerly awaiting for the last couple weeks here. Right after this. Okay, unlock block trivia time. So, Kyle Miesbauer from New Mexico. Boy, have I got some pleasant news for Kyle. We got a lot of cool stuff to give away.
Really?
Ooh, doggy.
Including copies of every Gears of War game for 360, because apparently everybody, as you've probably seen on the ads on TV, everybody that's buying Gears 4 is getting download codes for the other games. So, Kyle, if you want any of the Gears of War games from 360, let me know, and I will hook you up. I also do have a copy of Master Chief Collection, which was kindly donated by a listener. Now,
That's the one you should get.
This is about to get real good. So, step up your game. Send me a good trivia question this week. We'll get to this week's in a second, because Microsoft kindly sent a Battlefield 1 Special Edition Xbox One for us to unbox, which we did, and now give away, which we're going to do next week. So that'll be next week's.
Is that an S?
Oh, yeah. It's a 1 terabyte.
Can I submit a question?
Yes. Yes, you can.
We won't choose it.
Oh, dang.
100%, yeah.
Totally submit it.
Sardi Maliva.
Wait a minute.
All right, so anyway, Kyle wins this week for his question. I know he's probably slapping his own forehead now, going, I missed it by a week, but I've still got some cool prizes. Kyle asks, which cable TV channel sponsored the first map pack for the original Gears of War, which probably made it free, as I vaguely recall. I'm old. I can't remember back 10 years ago. But yeah, do you remember it would have been a Gears of War map pack, sort of like brought to you by, was it Spike TV, the Science Channel, the Discovery Channel, or G4 TV? Do you guys remember this? I confess, I kind of narrowed it down, but I did not remember the answer to this.
Same.
No idea, but I guess I'll go first.
Sure.
I picked G4 TV because I don't think Spike was a thing back then.
Okay.
I think
Didn't
Spike...
G4 become Spike?
No, they're different things.
They were.
Wasn't Spike not Spike?
Spike
before it
used
was
to
were
Spike?
be,
different, yeah.
did used to, wasn't it? Hold on.
Wasn't it the...
TNN?
TNN, yeah.
Like literally the Nashville network?
Yeah.
Wow, what a pivot for that network, huh?
Yeah, I feel like it's Spike or G4. I'm going to go with Spike, just to be different.
Destin?
Yeah, so I vaguely remembered this being a really weird tie-in when it happened, and the garden level pushed me towards Science or Discovery, and I'm like, I don't think I'd watch the Science Channel, so Discovery maybe? So I went with 3 Discovery Channel.
Okay, let me see where our scoring is at. I know Marty's been leading the
I mean,
way.
Spike seemed too obvious.
I just don't think Spike was a thing.
Marty
back
at
then.
15, Destin at 13. Until now, Destin, the only correct answer.
Oh man!
Narrowing the
man.
race.
But real quick, how many points do I have?
Shark at 4.
Sean
All
Wall.
right. Hey,
I got it, man.
stuff, Destin.
That brought me back, because I remember I'm like, what?
Good
Oh,
stuff.
there's a garden
it was-
level, I
that's
guess.
crazy.
It was the Discovery
Discovery?
Channel sponsored that first map pack for Gears 1. So good job, Kyle Miesbauer from New Mexico. You've won a fun prize.
Great
And again,
question.
If
And
you
you
want to
helped me
win, there is
catch
an
up.
Xbox One on the line, a 1 terabyte. The bad news is it's in a kind of hideous olive green color, but hey, it's a brand new Xbox One S, 1 terabyte with a copy
Put it deep into your entertainment system.
of Battlefield
Just hide
1.
it.
Yeah.
Don't shine any lights on
It's
it,
fine.
and it's going to work just fine.
So I need a trivia question, include 4 multiple choice answers, note the correct one in your email. If it's one, I can tell when people just Google like Xbox trivia questions, because the things that come up are the Rock thing, like who was on stage with Bill Gates. Like
Yeah.
I already know what to look for. You're not going to win. It is a random draw, but if I randomly choose you and then you have a either repeat question or dumb question, I will move on and choose someone else.
There are no
because
dumb
those are my
questions.
godlike powers
There's absolutely dumb questions.
on this show. So yeah, send everything in to unlocked@ign.com. Remember, include your shipping address because I've got a thing I will ship you if you win.
Did you stipulate that these all have to be Xbox-related questions?
Oh yeah.
Oh, darn it.
I just thought it'd be kind of fun to do like random multiple choice questions.
Not even about video games.
Yeah.
Which actress was in the Resident Evil movie?
I might actually get more points that way.
What is the
if it was
sixth number after the
entertainment
decimal point in pi? Like, son of a. It's 2, by the way.
Yeah.
You know pi?
I can go out like
3.1415.
Why?
927.
Why
as
do
far
you
as I
guys
can
know
go
that?
out.
Why?
They drill it into your head in school.
Nope.
I got
Not
it.
anymore.
I got it drilled into my head.
I also am
3 point-
terribly bad at math. So,
So am I.
like,
Why
I
do you
didn't pay
Why do
attention
you
during
think I
math.
became a filmmaker?
That's why I went
Yeah.
to journalism school. All
69. I can remember that. Let's go.
right. Good
4-3.
stuff.
All right. A few more numbers, but I'm good.
You are not super drunk if you were drinking along with Marty's lies this week. You kind of you tailed off on your lies.
I wanted to keep you sober. Sober
Don't drink and
October.
drive.
Don't drink and drive.
Don't drink and drive. IGN Prime is an easy way to support what we do here and get yourself an ad-free IGN experience. Go to ign.com/prime. Give us $29.95. We will give you 1 year of no ads in front of videos and no ads on the IGN homepage. You can find me on Twitter at DMC_Ryan. I would encourage you to please check out the Unfiltered with Vince Zampella talking Medal of Honor Allied Assault, the formation of Infinity Ward and how Call of Duty got started, and the lawsuit and Titanfall and all kinds of fun stuff. Went down to Respawn to shoot that. That was a good time. Destin?
All sorts of fun stuff, like a lawsuit.
Well, he did at least talk about it a little
Yeah.
bit, which I really appreciated him being willing to do.
I'll take the opportunity to plug twitch.tv/The Destin Channel and youtube.com/The Destin Channel. I am going to be streaming Mass Effect 2 and 3 because, like Marty, I want to finish those games before the new game comes out. So just to kind of refresh my memory of the
So
the
you've
universe
already
and
done the
everything.
first game?
Yeah, I did the first one. It was actually back when I started streaming in June or July. That was the first game I played through on Xbox One.
Nice.
And now I'm going to be playing through on 360 Mass Effect 2 and 3.
Yeah, you don't have a choice. Well, that or PC.
Don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I can't transfer my save anywhere else. So yeah, there is a trick where you can actually transfer from Xbox One backwards
Cloud
to
save?
Xbox 360. It's a weird thing that you have to do at the end of the game.
All right. Good to know.
But anyway, yeah,
We will watch you play one of the classics.
yeah,
Excellent.
fantastic game.
Marty?
You can find me at McBiggity. I had no part in it, but you should watch The Secret Origins of Dark Souls, which Chloe, Zach, Kirk, a bunch of people worked on. It's this amazing, sort of like a mini 30 for 30, just about From Software and the inspirations behind Dark Souls and their early games and how a bunch of stuff impacted that series. It's a super cool video. One of my favorite things that's been on the site in quite
Marty,
a while.
please stream Mass Effect.
I usually get real drunk when I play games. So I don't really want to see me in that
Even
condition.
better.
Usually not wearing pants.
No,
None of
yeah,
that could
don't.
work.
Even
just
better.
Enjoy it. Enjoy it.
I think we're
yourself.
gonna look.
It does. Yeah.
We're gonna get to. People are gonna give me stopping points, and then I might come in and do like a 2-hour stream.
That's
during
cool.
work of certain key decisions.
It does make it feel like work when you
Yeah.
start
Yeah.
doing that. Like I want to play Red Dead, but I'm like, I could stream Red Dead.
I know. I kind of
yeah.
want to go back to it too.
Yeah.
I've got a year.
Also, if you're one of our Australian listeners, Alana's going to be at PAX Oz next week, and she has a bunch of panels there.
Nice.
Say hi to her.
It'll be cool. Shark?
Follow me on Twitter at ShopByVinnigan. And since I have nothing really to plug because I worked on the same Vince Zampella stuff with you, I'm going to plug Dread, the greatest comic book movie. I watched it last night. It's awesome. If
Dread
you haven't
rules.
seen it,
That's
Well,
the
let's
second
watch it.
one, right?
That's the new one.
I'm talking about
remake,
not
yeah.
the
Not a remake.
95 or
the
6
remake.
one was it's called Judge Dredd, and it's with
Judge.
Got a cool robot.
Stallone. It's terrible.
Judge.
Got a cool robot
I mean,
and guns.
You
The guns
are
neat.
working on our November IGN first, which should be of interest to our audience.
yeah, we can't say anything about it yet.
I mean, we could. We choose not to.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, nothing. No one's stopping me with like a gun to my head. But yeah, like it's gonna be a cool game. We were up there visiting I guess 2 weeks ago. So, stay tuned to that.
Excellent.
Half-Life 3? It was Half-Life 3.
Oh, yeah.
Next month's IGN first is Half-Life 3.
I would literally walk into my boss's office and demand a huge raise. I got
I got
money
some
right
for
now.
you.
Yeah.
I want a race.
Oh man,
That would be IGN last. Just go out on top.
That's right.
Yeah.
Drop the mic.
Yeah.
We're done. We're done after that.
With this last game, IGN first is over.
If you had an idea first for Half-Life, like I feel like there would be a bloodbath for who got to go on that, or it'd be like, oh, we're sending 15 people.
yeah.
Yeah.
The whole studio is going up there.
Yeah.
It's to dreaming.
That would be
it's
like
fun to
all
dream.
hands on deck.
I mean, in order for that to happen, that would have to be a real game, which it's not, because it'll never happen.
Never will be.
Don't remind me of
Even
sad
Left 4
things.
Dead 2 would be a big get.
Left 4 Dead 2 would be an awful IGN first.
I played it
Left 4 Dead 2
years ago.
Left 4 Dead 3.
Yeah, it was like
My
Left 4
bad.
Dead 3
Yeah.
is what you're talking about.
I'm tired.
I would go to my boss's office and demand you get less money. Left 4 Dead 2 is
Ryan's screwed up.
Ryan's he's slipping lately.
Let's go. Let's leave. Hey, look, it was somehow an hour, as usual. You're welcome, I think. I don't know. Or I'm sorry. It's either you're welcome or I'm sorry. I'm not sure which one.
Pick your poison.
It's fine. We'll be back with our usual round of shenanigans next
They will
week.
be a
I'm
fun.
1 point behind. I never thought I'd catch up.
It's turning into a really good race because now we're down to like the last 10 weeks of the no.
I'm gonna look at
10
your
weeks of the year.
phone search history. I think you're cheating.
Wait, so how many points do you have?
I don't know.
It's 14 to 13.
So if I win every one and I'm on every
You'll
show up
still
until the end of
lose.
the year, no, because I have 4 points.
Yeah, still in it. Not mathematically eliminated yet.
All right.
You're like
I would have to get. We would have to get every
This
one
is when
wrong.
This is when sharks attack. When you're least expecting it.
All right,
Destin.
Sean. Okay.
Destin and Marty both were handed drinks before the show and both
they're-
got rampant diarrhea during every episode. I don't know
They're
before
asleep.
trivia. I don't know
That's
what
so weird.
happened. Let's
Checks out.
go. All right. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.